Recently we had the pleasure of visiting an amazing tourist spot in Thailand called Railay Beach. I've been to Railay quite a few times and loved it, so I was really excited to show Alice. However, whilst we had an amazing few days there, we were both left a little bit underwhelmed with a few things on Railay East, so we thought we'd record a video with our honest feedback. Hi everyone, we are Lee and Alice. We've been travelling for the last few months because, well, we don't have anywhere to legally live together. We'd like to settle in the UK, but it's complicated as Alice is from the Philippines. While we try to figure out what to do, we've decided to share our adventures with you. Railay Beach is one of Thailand's most iconic tourist spots in the province of Krabi. It's actually on the mainland, but it's cut off and you have to get there by boat, so it has the feel of an island more than the mainland. There are two main beaches, Railay East and Railay West, but there are a couple of other beaches worth checking out as well, especially Phra, which we posted a video on earlier, and Tonsai, which we'll talk about at the end of this video. We decided to stay on Railay East, which is the pier side, and that's what we're going to talk about specifically in this video. So let's start off with some positives. So the first thing about Railay East is that it's definitely cheaper than Railay West. There are quite a few high-end hotels in the area, but the majority of them are more on the budget side. So Railay East is better suited for backpackers or digital nomads. We booked a really simple bungalow in a resort called Rapala, and it cost us 800 baht per night, which is about $17. Also, because it's on the budget side, most of the bars and restaurants are quite reasonably priced, and you can pick up a beer for about 60 baht and a standard Thai dish for about 100, so it's ideal for keeping within a tighter budget. The second thing that's awesome about Railay East is the nighttime. There are lots of restaurants and a food court and bars which are beautifully lit, and the entire area is really enjoyable for a walk around. There's also live music and a few bars which play decent electronic music, which is right up my street. So if you're staying on Railay West and you have a few nights, it might be worth going over to the east side for a night out. One of our favourite bars was called Last Bar, at the very end of the beach, and another one called Treehouse Bar, which was quite difficult to get to, and there's a lot of steps, but they have live music on every night, so it has a really cool vibe. The next really cool thing about Railay East is that there's a Muay Thai boxing ring. I had the pleasure of seeing two professional fights there one Saturday night, and I was really surprised at how many people there were there. There must have been around 50 people or something like that watching the fight. I got some really cool footage of the fights as well, and I actually seen two knockouts, both of which I caught on film. Now, I'm not 100% sure whether or not it's fake Thai boxing like on PP, but take a look at this knockout and judge for yourself. The reaction of the winner looks pretty convincing to me, but you never know. Lastly, because Railay Beach is quite small, Railay East is easily accessible to everywhere, and you can walk from the east side to the west side in about 10 or 15 minutes. It's also really accessible to all of the popular tourist spots such as Phra Beach, the lagoon and the Bat Cave, and you can even trek through the jungle to access Tonsai Beach if you're feeling a bit adventurous. One of the really great things about staying on Railay East is that when you want to go to Railay West for a night out, you have to walk down Walking Street. Walking Street is really lively, and there are lots of bars, restaurants and music, and it has that really cool holiday Thailand vibe.
Just give me the music.
Now to the downside with Railay East, and there really is only one, and that's construction. This is the main challenge we had with Railay East, because there was construction going on everywhere, and we noticed it as soon as we arrived on the pier. There are quite a few bars and resorts which are actually quite run down, and some of them seem to have been abandoned completely. When I visited Railay East around 15 years ago, this wasn't the case at all, and the east side was really nice and clean and tidy, and was actually my preferred side of Railay Beach to hang out. We weren't sure whether this was because of low season, and that all of the resorts are trying to use the time to do some renovation, but there was that much going on that I really don't think that was the case. It may seem like a really petty point, but it really isn't the most aesthetically pleasing of places, and there was lots and lots of noise going on from the construction. And it's not just the construction. When the tide goes out on Railay East, there's lots of debris from construction works and quite a lot of litter, so that's definitely a big issue. Don't get me wrong, it was still amazing to experience such an iconic spot like Railay Beach, but we thought it'd be really useful to point this out to you so you can bear it in mind when deciding where to book. As a little bonus, we thought we'd like to share an amazing little secret about Railay Beach, and that's Tonsai Beach. Tonsai is a tiny, super quiet beach in very close proximity to Railay West, and you can access it in multiple ways. There are only a few resorts and very few people, so it's super quiet and chilled. It's the main beach where rock climbers stay, and it's really nice vibe, especially at night time. The first way to get there is through a longtail boat, which leave every so often. You can either wait for a full boat of 8 people and pay 50 to 100 baht per person, or you can hire a private boat for about 400 baht. It's a beautiful trip by a longtail, so it may be worth it. Second, you can do what we did and take a trek through the jungle. It takes about 30 minutes and it's a fairly easy trek, but just make sure to take mosquito spray as there were millions of them. You can access the track from the road towards the Diamond Cave. The third way to get there is a short 10-minute trail right next to Railay West. It used to be really challenging to do this trail, but an easier path has been carved, so it's a super easy walk and well worth it if you have the time. Okay, that brings us to the end of the video. We hope that was helpful and to see you in the next video.